What is up, guys? Caleb here with Beyond the Release. It is that time of year, 3D season, turkey season too, but it's also 3D season. So today I wanted to put together a little pack dump or gear dump, whatever you like to call it, for the kind of things that I take to TAC and help you guys hopefully be more prepared for when you go to one of these events, whether it's TAC or Shot 3D or whatever events you might have in your area. So I just wanted to cover some of the things that I take with me. I'm pretty minimalistic as far as the stuff that I take. I think, I don't know, I don't pack a bag just full of stuff, but I try to keep it pretty light. I think that's the wise thing to do. There's not really a whole lot of reason to take a bunch of stuff with you. So first, I think we'll start with just my chest pack or binocular harness or whatever you like to call that, and what I keep in there. Obviously the binoculars, it's good to have a set of binoculars with you. Some of those long range shots, it's good to be able to look through your binoculars and see where the rings are on those animals, because some of them are not in the place where you'd think they'd be. Obviously your range finder is going to be in here. You definitely need to have that with you, otherwise obviously you're going to be losing some arrows, which a lot of people are going to be doing anyway. But Allen wrenches, in case you need to make adjustments or tighten anything up while you're out there. Here's another new little addition that I've added this year. It's kind of a silly one, but I'll bring some smelling salts with me. Just help me get me focused in on those real long range shots. Probably doesn't do anything, but I think it's kind of funny to have with me. Anyway, that's the binocular harness. Let's get into the rest of it. As far as what goes in my pack, there's one thing that I, for some reason, am missing in here that I usually bring with me. It's kind of a fairly crucial thing to me anyway. But there's, as everybody knows, there's lots of little trees and saplings and things like that that you could hit at some of these targets that are in the way. You might get an arrow stuck in one of those trees and they can be really hard to pull out. So what I usually take with me is a little folding saw, like you'd use to trim little branches on when you're up in your tree stand, just to help you maybe get your arrow out. Some of those arrows can be expensive depending on what you use. We try to use cheaper ones for these events, but some of them can be expensive, so it's not real fun to lose them. They're already tearing up the tree anyway, so I don't really see why it would hurt anything to cut your arrow out of there, in my opinion. But so I usually take one of them little folding saws with me, but I can't find mine for some reason. I had it at the last event, now it's gone. Also, arrows, obviously, you gotta have arrows, gotta have your bow, all that. I keep my arrows in a PVC tube. It's got a little cap on the end of it to make sure it doesn't poke through the bottom of my pack. And a lot of people just throw them in their pack, but I don't like doing that because those field points could break through the fabric on the bottom of your pack, and I just rather have something that's protecting everything and keeps them all together nice and neat and all that. Some people just carry a hip quiver. You know, I see guys out there just carrying a hip quiver and a rangefinder. That's all they've got with them. That's great. That's all you want to carry with you. That's awesome. Let's see. I usually keep an extra set of Allen wrenches also with me. And then I also keep some sort of little first aid setup. I've just got some Band-Aids in here and some chapstick, I think some sunscreen. Nothing too major. You can bring more than that if you want to. Probably not a whole lot's going to happen on just shooting 3D course, but good to have that stuff available if you need it. Another thing, before I forget to talk about it, is something. If you're going to wear kind of dull colored clothes, either wear kind of a bright colored hat or hang something bright on your pack or something. Because wearing camo out there, I know that's what everybody thinks is cool in these events. That's what we like to wear. Most of us are hunters. That's why we're going to this deal. So camo is the cool thing to wear, but probably not the smartest thing to wear when you gotta bunch of hundreds of or thousands even of other guys out there, other guys and girls out there flinging arrows every direction. You want to make sure people can see you. If you're out there looking behind a target for an arrow that you might have missed, but yeah, you don't want to be out there looking around for something behind the target wearing camo and nobody can see you in kind of a shady area or something like that. I've heard that there's been things that have happened that were not great. So have something bright, whether it's a hat, whether it's a little bandana or something hanging on your bag, whatever you might need. I feel like that's pretty important. Next thing, really important deal, is a spare release. Now I use a wrist release. It doesn't really ever come off my wrist. And sorry if you hear a little bit of noise back there. My dog's chewing on a bone. So, but I use a wrist release so it doesn't, I'm not generally taking it off and leaving it anywhere or anything like that. But I always keep one with me anyway, because you never know when that thing's gonna fail, or you might take it off and lose it, or whatever it might be. Definitely, if you're using any kind of a handheld, I would definitely make sure you got something extra with you, and be careful about that, because there's probably a lot of guys there that if they see a lost release, they might snatch it up. Not everybody out there is as honest as you'd like them to be. But next thing, some sort of a wireless charging device. We obviously film this kind of stuff. We use mainly our phones and GoPros, and then microphones and different kind of devices like that. So that stuff can go dead throughout the day. Have some kind of wireless charging device if you're doing stuff like that, or even if you're just trying to keep your phone charged up all day in general. This is a solar one that I just bought off Amazon. So I can hang it on the outside of my pack and it stays charged all day long. Can charge whatever I need with it. Pretty handy. Another new addition to the things that I take, I got this little telescopic fishing rod that I'm going to bring with me. Not going to bring a bunch of tackle or anything like that. My plan is not to hold things up. It's just, if we get in a long line, we're waiting on people anyway, and there's some water nearby, I might cast this out there and see what happens. But I thought it could be make kind of a cool video if we catch a big old bass while we're out trying to shoot one of the courses. Make sure if you're going to do that, you have a fishing license for the place you're at. We live in Oklahoma. I already have a fishing license here, so I'm not concerned about that, because that's where the event this weekend is going to be at. So I thought that was a pretty cool little addition to my gear that not everybody would have. Make sure you got all your filming devices, whether it's GoPros, your tripods, whatever it might be. Make sure you got that stuff with you if you're going to film. Water, very important. Make sure you get plenty of water, and there's, as you finish the courses, or as you're shooting the courses, usually they got coolers of water along the course too. You can fill up your water bottle if you take a water bottle like this or whatever. So that's pretty handy, and that's nice of them to do that. So take advantage of that. One more thing, there's a little bit of rain in the forecast for this weekend anyway, so make sure you check the forecast before you go. If you need a rain jacket, take a rain jacket. I'm going to have one with me this weekend. Will be definitely necessary. And then I said one more thing, but I'm going to go one more thing, because this has happened to me before. Bring a backup bow. Okay, so last year we went to one of the Shot 3D events, and my bow derailed and tore up one of the mods when it happened, and so I didn't have anything to shoot the rest of that day. I missed out on the rest of that course, and then I think the course after that I ended up just borrowing James's bow. We'd swap back and forth, and so it wasn't really that bow's not really set up for me. We're close enough in size, it was somewhat close, but wasn't perfect, but it was still a good time. We had fun. But if you have the ability and room in your vehicle or whatever to bring a spare bow with you, I would recommend doing that. That's what I'm gonna be doing this year. I think that pretty much wraps it up. There could be more. If anybody has anything to add, leave it in the comments. Everybody's got all kinds of good ideas for different things that you could bring along with you, and some of the things that I've got that you can stand to go without. Obviously there's things I've got you could stand to go without, but we're really looking forward to it this weekend. I'm very excited about it. We've got this TAC event coming up, and then we've got several Shot 3D events coming up after that. So hopefully we'll see some of you guys at TAC or Shot 3D. Like and subscribe. Find us on Instagram. Make sure you click that button and notifications and all that. Turn on your notifications for us. It really helps us out a lot. See you here in a few days.